your job, your time, your attention. If you don't own these, you don't control your life. Think about it. You're working 9 to 5, scrolling endlessly, trading hours for someone else's dream. You might feel free, but are you really? We live in a time where distraction is currency and attention is stolen, where people chase titles, not freedom. But there's a quiet revolution happening. More people are waking up, taking back control, owning their time, owning their ideas, owning their futures. Today, we're diving into why ownership is no longer optional and how it's the only path to real freedom. Stay with me. Let me introduce you to Jake. At 22, Jake landed a steady corporate job. Good pay, good benefits, a clear path to retirement. On paper, it was perfect. Every morning he woke up early, fought traffic, punched in, answered emails, sat through meetings. Each month, the same cycle: work, paycheck, bills. It felt like success, but deep down, Jake felt stuck. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was just a small part of someone else's machine, spending his best hours building someone else's dream. He'd scroll social media during lunch breaks, seeing people creating, building, traveling, and he wondered, when is it my turn? When will I break free? One night, out of frustration and a deep longing for something more, he opened his sketchbook, started sketching sneaker designs, not for money, not for fame, just to feel alive again. He posted a few designs online. People noticed. DMs came in, comments, likes, shares. It was small at first, but it sparked something real inside him. So he kept going, bought a few blank sneakers, started customizing them on the floor of his bedroom, paint-stained hands, music on, hours flying by. No startup capital, no team, no blueprint. Just Jake, owning his time, owning his creativity, owning the process. The first sale was 80, more than his corporate paycheck, because it was his, earned by his own hands, his own vision. He reinvested, failed, learned, handled every return, packed every box, replied to every customer. Some nights he barely slept. Not from stress, but from excitement and drive. Friends doubted, family worried. But Jake kept showing up, believing in something bigger than just a paycheck. Slowly, it grew. From one order a week, to one a day, to hundreds. Each pair carrying a story, a signature, a piece of him. Now, Jake runs a multi-million-dollar sneaker brand, worn by influencers, loved by fans, built from scratch, all from that moment of frustration, that one sketchbook page, that decision to stop renting his time and start owning his life. And that's the power of taking control, of turning passion into purpose and dreams into reality. What could happen if you stopped waiting? What could happen if you started owning your life today? Let's really break this down. What does it actually mean to own something? And why does it matter so much, especially right now? Because ownership isn't just about possession, it's about agency. It's about making a decision and knowing the outcome falls on you. Not your boss, not the market, not your team, not your parents. You. Ownership is responsibility, but it's also freedom with teeth. It means no one's coming to save you, but also no one can stop you. And that's where everything shifts. When you own your work, your business, your schedule, even your habits, you stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for approval. You stop looking over your shoulder for someone to tell you you're doing it right. You start moving with intention, because you're not a participant anymore. You're the architect. And yeah, that's scary, because ownership means if something breaks, it's your fault. If you miss, you can't hide. You don't get to say, well, I just work here. But here's the flip side. When it works, even a little, you own it. You get the upside, you get the credit, you get the lessons, you get the equity. That's a reward no job title can ever promise you. Now let's talk about time, because this is the part most people miss. Time is the real currency. Not dollars, not likes, not status. Time. Time is the only thing you spend that you can't earn back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So the real question is, are you renting your time or owning it? If you're on a salary, chances are you're renting. It's a clean deal. You clock in, you do the work, you clock out. The company pays you for access to your hours. But here's the catch. When you rent your time, you're not building anything that outlives your effort. Your hours go in, the paycheck comes out. But the moment you stop, the machine stops too. And worse, someone else owns what you helped build. They keep the system, they keep the customers, they keep the brand, they keep the upside. You just get replaced no matter how good you are. But when you own your time, everything changes. You don't just work, you invest. You don't just fill a role, you create value. You don't just punch the clock, you design the clock. Every hour becomes a brick, and every brick stacks into something that lasts longer than your energy. Yes, it's slower at first. Yes, it's lonelier. Yes, it's terrifying to stare at a blank calendar and realize you are in charge now. But what you are building, it's yours. That blog, that storefront, that skill, that course, that community, it's yours and it compounds. Which brings us to equity, the real unlock, because equity is the compound interest of ownership. It's not just what you earn, it's what you keep building even when you're not working. Let's put it in perspective. Two people. Jason earns $80K a year at a solid tech job. He's respected, he's efficient, he's reliable, but 5 years in, he's still trading time for money. Every dollar he makes requires a new hour, a new meeting, a new Monday. Now take Amina. She starts a niche interior design course. Year 1, she pulls in $12K and it's rough, but she reinvests. She learns copywriting. She starts a YouTube channel. She builds an email list. Year 2, $30Ks. Year 3, $75Ks. Year 5, she's cleared $250K without a boss, without a gatekeeper. And here's the kicker. Her content keeps selling. Her brand keeps growing. Her community keeps buying because she didn't just make money. She made a machine. One she owns. She owns the product. She owns the pipeline. She owns the platform. She owns the relationship with the audience. She has leverage. She can license it, sell it, take a sabbatical, or pass it on to someone else because she didn't just chase income, she built equity. That's the difference. Money makes a living. Equity makes a life. Money is linear. Equity is exponential. Money covers the rent. Equity buys back your time. Money gets you through the month. Equity gets you through a season, through a down year, through a family emergency, through burnout, through the long game. It's what gives you breathing room. It's what gives you leverage. It's what gives you choices and choices. Or what freedom really looks like. So now look in the mirror and ask, am I building equity or just collecting paychecks? Am I renting my time or owning it? Am I surviving in someone else's system or building one of my own? Because here's the truth. If you don't own your time, if you don't own your ideas, if you don't own your path, someone else will. They'll pay you just enough to forget what it's really worth. But when you take it back, when you claim it, protect it, invest it, you stop surviving and you start living. Let's talk about the illusion of freedom. A lot of people think they're free, but are they? You say you're your own boss, but your time is dictated by clients, meetings, platforms, or apps. You say you're secure, but what happens if your boss lays you off? Or your biggest client leaves? Or an algorithm changes? That's not freedom. That's dependency. Here's a metaphor. Renting an apartment gives you a home, but the landlord can raise the rent or kick you out. Owning a house gives you stability, it gives you power, and over time, it builds equity. The same principle applies in business and life. If you don't own the platform, you're just a renter. If you don't own the product, you're selling someone else's value. If you don't own your time, you're always on someone else's clock. Ownership removes vulnerability and gives you control. Let's really break this down. What does it actually mean to own something, and why does it matter so much, especially right now? It means you decide the direction, you absorb the risk, but also keep the reward. When you own something, your business, your audience, your product, you build leverage. You stop trading hours for money. You start stacking value that lives beyond your daily effort. That's the shift. Let's break this down a little more. To own something means to have agency over it. It means you can shape it, grow it, pause it, license it, even sell it, and still keep earning from it. That's equity, that's freedom. Not the 4-hour workweek fantasy, but the freedom to design your life intentionally. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Ownership is the ultimate form of self-expression. Think about it. When you truly own your work, it's an extension of who you are. Every decision you make leaves a mark on your brand, your reputation, your legacy. Ownership is personal. It's your fingerprint on the world. It is the difference between simply being a cog in the machine and being the architect of your own future. Time is the real currency. The average person rents their time to the highest bidder. They give 40 hours a week to system. They don't control building someone else's dream. Sound familiar? Maybe you felt it, that disconnect between your effort and your reward, like you are pouring your life into something that will never really be yours. But when you own your time, everything changes. You invest your hours, not just spend them. Invest in skills that compound, in systems that automate, in assets that keep paying out long after you've stopped working. It's the difference between getting paid once and getting paid every single time. Your work creates value. Ask yourself, are you building something that works while you sleep, or just punching the clock, hoping for a paycheck? Ownership isn't always glamorous. It comes with risks and uncertainty. There are no safety nets. It means waking up some days unsure if it will all work out. It means making decisions that feel risky. It means learning how to adapt and grow fast. You can't blame someone else when things go wrong. You also don't need anyone's permission to change the rules. That's power. That's real freedom. Let me be honest with you. Freedom without ownership is just an illusion. If you don't own your ideas, if you don't own your platform, if you don't own your time, someone else will, and they'll pay you just enough to forget what your true value really is. It's like renting your life to someone else's terms, always vulnerable to sudden changes, layoffs, or shifts in the market. But when you take it back, when you build equity instead of chasing income, when you trade certainty for ownership, that's when you stop surviving and start truly living still with me. Good, because here's what most people miss. Ownership is a journey, not a destination. It's messy, it's challenging. It means sometimes failing spectacularly, but every failure is a lesson. Every stumble is a step forward, and over time, that equity you build becomes a fortress, one that protects you from uncertainty, layoffs, and market shifts. You become the captain of your ship, not a passenger. Imagine waking up every morning knowing your work matters. Your time is yours, your future is in your hands. That feeling, that's priceless. Now let's be real. This isn't just about business, it's about your life, your freedom, your peace of mind, because when you own your time and your work, you own your ability to create the life you want. No one can take that away. So ask yourself, are you renting your life? Are you building something that lasts? Are you trading your hours for someone else's dream, or stacking bricks on your own foundation? Because the difference is everything. When you own it, truly own it, you unlock a kind of freedom that money alone can't buy. It's the freedom to choose to create, to live on your terms. And if you start today, if you begin to claim your ownership, you are not just investing in a business or a product. You are investing in your life, your legacy, your future, and that changes everything. So don't wait. Don't let another day go by renting out your time, your ideas, your potential. Start building ownership today, because freedom, real freedom, starts with taking control. And that starts with you. Here's the best part. It's easier than you think to start owning your future. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You don't need to be an expert. You just need a starting point. Let me give you one, actually three. These are the first 3 steps to ownership. Simple, actionable, and more powerful than they might seem. Step 1, build your brand. Whether it's on social media, a blog, a YouTube channel, or your own small business. Create something that is yours. It's not about becoming famous. It's about becoming known for something that matters. Your voice, your perspective, your expertise, your value, because in a noisy world, attention is leverage and a personal brand. That's the magnet that attracts opportunity. While you sleep, to start with what you know, show up consistently, and build in public. Step 2, create something you control. Products, services, digital tools, courses, templates, designs, PDFs, coaching, consulting. It doesn't have to be complex, it just has to be yours. Build once, sell often. That's how you escape the time for money trap. That's how you create income that doesn't need your presence every single day. The key focus on solving real problems, even a simple solution, can scale if it hits the right pain point. Ownership is about building value, not just chasing revenue. Step 3, invest in equity. That might mean buying shares, partnering in a small venture, licensing your creations, or building something from scratch that belongs entirely to you. Start small, start smart. You don't need a windfall, you need a wedge, a foothold in something that grows. Equity is how you stop running on the treadmill. It's how you start building wealth instead of just income. Now here's the part no one talks about. Ownership doesn't always look like $1 million business overnight. More often it looks like quiet, steady growth, small wins that compound late nights and early mornings, building something that will eventually outlive your 9 to 5. And if you stick with it, you'll wake up one day with a business, a brand, or a body of work that no one can take away from you. Because here's the truth. When you build equity, you build optionality. You create a life with more doors, not fewer, more freedom, not less. It's not about working less, it's about working with intention, working on the right things, the ones that pay off tomorrow, not just today. So if you're wondering how to begin, start here. Build your brand, create what you control, invest in what you own. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start where you are. Use what you have, do what you can, because every day you delay, you are renting your life to someone else. But every day you build, you are buying back your future one brick at a time. And that future, that freedom, it's not just possible, it's already waiting for you to claim it. Start owning your time, your brand, your products, your future. Most people won't say this out loud, but at the Business Vault, we keep it real. No fluff. No hype. Just straight-up truths to help you build something that lasts. If this video sparked something in you, drop a comment below. What are you building that you truly own? Like this? Share it. Hit subscribe. Every week, we drop fresh content with real strategy, mindset shifts, and lessons to help you level up. Stay curious. Stay inspired. And remember, if you don't own it, you don't control it. Your time, your ideas, your income. If someone else owns the system, they set the rules, and you're just playing their game. Ownership is how you take the power back. Start building